Well, we're crossing into Wiltshire. It's middle of October, possibly the last day of decent weather. I noticed it was going to be a little warmer today and it was going to be dry after an early shower, so I thought I'd grab the opportunity for a training ride in and around Wiltshire. So I've just come down the A338 from Oxford and trying to work hard on my skills again. So beautiful autumn colours today. This is one of my favourite routes, so I generally come down the A338 through Wantage, through Hungerford, sometimes stop off a little village called Burbage in Wiltshire, and then from there you've got a lot of superb roads, again possibly some of the best in the country. Oh, great to be out again. It's 3 or 4 weeks now since Bike Safe. And this is a superb little bit of road between Hungerford and Burbage. Again, the A338, a challenging turn, so I've got to work hard today on my positioning. I'm not the world's most confident cornerer, so always working on those skills. Looks like you all enjoyed the police bike video, which looks like it could hit 100,000 views at some stage, already at 60,000. So I'm going to try and bring you a couple more of those. Currently in negotiations with Northants Police over that, so watch this space. Looks like Bike Safe video as well stimulated quite a bit of interest. Hopefully got a few of you to sign up. Whatever standard you are, you'll learn something from the boys and girls in blue. So the challenge today then, particularly on a road like this with overhanging trees, you can see the leaves are just starting to fall. Not a lot of leaves on the road. The surface is drying. It has been damp, as I say, due to an early shower. Also noticed quite a bit of mud on the road as well from various building construction projects, but also from tractors. So we're getting into that time of year now where ideally you'd like to be able to position for view, i.e. to open up a corner, for example, but sometimes you've got to sacrifice that because of the road surface, and particularly as we go into the winter you'll find that happens more and more. So here, for example, I've got a good clear view of the road, so I'm just going to take the smoothest, straightest path. Something drummed into me by my mentor, Seafly Fisher. Crossroads coming up, just keep an eye. We'll glance down the road, little lifesaver down the left-hand junction now. And we're coming up for a right-hander now, so positioning into the left. The 338 is a superb road surface actually. In Northants, if you're on this particular road, or a road like this, you'd find the left-hand gutter would be quite corrugated, so you couldn't position probably quite as well. But one thing I like about the 338 is just move away from the blue car. So again, a cracking view down the road here. I can see a big white lorry approaching, so don't want to meet him on the bend. There he is. I'm okay at the moment, but we'll just drop in now. And part of dropping in is moving away from him, but also if that white lorry had following traffic, which he did, and that following traffic's been following him for 10 minutes or so, then he might be getting frustrated, he might be looking for the overtake. So what you want to do is present your vehicle. Let him know you're there. So just again back there, by positioning over to the left, I could do that. But yeah, nice day to be out. It's quite mild actually. Wasn't quite sure if I was going to get cold today, so I've probably slightly overdressed. I put the Halverson suit on, the long johns on. actually too warm. Air temperature is about 16 degrees. We've got a 20-mile-an-hour wind gusting to 40. So probably could have put the leathers on today. Away from the car. So yeah, the plan is to head down into Wiltshire. Not too long a ride today. This time of year in the UK, we're a little bit constrained because the daylight hours are creeping in now, so sort of 5:30 really, you're getting into twilight. And I like to be off the road well before then. So the line of the hedge here gives me the line of the road. I'm coming into a 30, so just roll down into this graft and no need to brake. And you can see the leaves just beginning to blow, but not a major problem at this moment. I've been playing with the mount on the helmet mount for my GoPro 7, and I think I've hopefully got that just about right now, because I wanted you to be able to see my speedo, but I also wanted to give you the maximum view of the road forward. I've got the setting on wide as well, so hopefully you can see what's to the left and to the right. And the aim of these films is always to try to put you onto the sort of pillion with me, really, just so you can see what I'm doing and comment on it. I don't claim to be a perfect rider, still learning. So mirror check, 50, and smartly away. One of the things that was mentioned to me by Andy, the examiner on the IM test, was he wanted to see a bit of snap and sparkle. And when you try to ride to an advanced standard, you know, you're not just bimbling around. There's got to be some authority about your ride, a little bit of style. So again here, shortest, straightest path. So now we're in sort of mud and gravel. So even though there's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, it's the road conditions that are essentially dictating the ride. And again, there was a bit of a muddy gleam on that bend there, so discretion is the better part of valour. So the plan today is to Burbage is one of my waypoints. It's one of sort of a good starting or ending point actually for a ride around Wiltshire. Unfortunately, it lost both its pubs now. We're picking up on the 338 again, and then we're going to head down to Collingbourne Ducas, where we will then skirt across the edge of Salisbury Plain. Just a great time to be out on your bike. I always feel as though I'm stealing a day, so this might be the last full day ride before the onset of winter. And essentially this then becomes the doorway to Salisbury Plain, and just some of the wonderful wide open roads you get there. Quite unique in the country actually. It seems unspoilt somehow. Divide the risk between the dog and the oncoming vehicle. And I think we'll take a right here. And I discovered this little lane a few years ago. Really feel like you're out in the wilds when you're here. You can see we've got like a thick layer of gravel down the middle of the road. So I've got to be quite careful about the positioning here, but whilst you sort of sacrifice your speed, for me this is just great to be out. And when you're on one of these this type of road, it's all about positioning for grip, really. Also wildlife out here. We just disturbed a buzzard there. Yeah, single track road. And Salisbury Plain opens up in front of us. Those of you who aren't familiar with this part of the country, maybe those of you who watch the channel from another country, this is army territory. And has been for many decades, but because of that it remains unspoilt. Actually, we'll just go through the occasional tank crossing. Just like this one. But being as how the country has so few tanks now, because of the cuts in defence spending, which I've spent the last 42 years of my life working in the defence sector, breaks my heart to see what successive governments have done to our defence. So I've never ever seen a tank here. Yeah, Salisbury Plain, absolutely beautiful. You get huge views because it's so flat. I think this is the A342, which will take us to Devizes. Again, it's a great biker road. Lovely sweeping bends. Heading through a little village called Uphaven. And we'll be going past an old World War I airfield site, which you can find if you're interested on the internet under the Trenchard lines, named after Lord Trenchard. drilled into me by my mentor. I'm always trying to be the safest place on the road. Okay, so we move up to national speed limit now. So looking a long way down the road as far as I can and working back towards myself. Decent road surface now. Lots of view, the car in front keeping a good pace. My speedo reads about sort of 5 or 6 miles an hour over at 60 miles an hour, in case you're wondering. So this is a superb road, which I discovered when we were riding out with Dale, sea fly fisher, a few years ago. On that particular day it was so hot the road surface was melting. Today for lunch, as usual, to the Red Lion at Avebury. I can grab a sandwich and a drink there. Good to support our local pubs at the moment. They're really feeling the pain, and we're probably going to lose at least a third of them. And I can see here, looking across the plain, that maybe it's a little bit of light rain is blowing in across the tank crossing. And here is the Trenchard Lines, which is one of the very first air bases, the Royal Flying Corps, around about 1914. It was part of the army at that stage, I seem to remember, and then shortly after became incorporated into the Royal Air Force. Yeah, just a little bit of rain blowing across the plain now. And into a pavement. Across the River Avon. Okay, into the NSL, kind of where we go, sharpish. I don't have any following traffic, but it's always a great opportunity to get rid of tailgaters when you're on your bike. And again, now leaving Devizes, I'm heading towards Avebury, where we'll get a spot of lunch at the Red Lion. And this is an ancient landscape I'm riding across now. A lot of burial mounds, tumuli I should say, white horses, henges, Stonehenge, Avebury itself. At least 5,000 years of history here. Watch his front wheels. These are probably my favourite roads in the country. If I could only ride in one county, it would be Wiltshire. I think I just love the timelessness of the place. It doesn't seem to date. And when you factor in some of these lovely wide open roads, Salisbury Plain, the ancient monuments as well, I think it's got it all. And approaching the village of Avebury now. Usually I come down the avenue, which is away to my right, which is a corridor of standing stones. This time I've come from Devizes, just for a change. Roads are wonderfully quiet today. And the avenue is now to my right. And there are the stones. And the Red Lion ahead, where I'm hoping to get some lunch. Right, goodbye Avebury for another year. So we'll exit via the avenue. Just had a nice lunch at the Red Lion. And we shall depart Wiltshire via the avenue. And just drop onto the A4 for a couple of miles into Marlborough. It was nice to ride along the high street of the old market town. And every year they have the Marlborough Mop, which is a sort of a fair. And then probably head home via Swindon A420. Probably mild day tomorrow. The weather's due to sock in, but it's been great to be out again. I hope you've enjoyed that little film. Always try to practice some skills when I come out on a line like this. Sometimes I lose concentration just because of the landscape. Work in progress. So this is Back to the Bike signing off.